I've never had a microphone come in a box this big. But this box also saves you $10,000? What? Is it still good? Real quick, I wrote a song for this. This was a song I wrote when we thought stuff was going to end a little different for our family. I feel like this should come with a little bit of a warning. Trigger warning is a little intense. It doesn't have to be that dramatic. However, maybe be prepared for this one if you've lost a child, come close to losing a child, or somebody close to you that you really love. This came from a pretty dark time, and I think you can hear it. Warned ya.
You wore the dusk like armor, but even steel gives way to truth. I watched the silence paint you pale, each breath fading photographs. The world moved on in carousels, but I stood still watching cracks. There's no sound in this kind of thunder, just the ache beneath your skin. And I reached to hold the sky together, but found the end had already been. So bury me in maroon light, where the shadows bloom and bleed. I'll mourn you in the quiet fire, until I feel you warmth in me. But you're not gone, you've just gone deeper, beyond the noise, beyond the flame. Between the vitals, a ghost still learning how to stay. The words became a funeral, each syllable fell away. Hope clung like a fraying tether, we pulled until it snapped in two. You looked at me and whispered, let me go, I'm still with you. And I sink to the ashes in your lungs. I hear you taught me when I broke. We built our strength in fleeting seconds. Now I wear your name in smoke. So bury me in maroon light, where the shadows bloom and bleed. I'll mourn you in the quiet fire, until I feel you warmth in me. But you're not gone, you've just gone deeper, beyond the noise, beyond the flame. I watch you wither like a rose in reverse, petals climbing back the stem. Couldn't stop the slow undoing, only loved you to the end. I held your hand through every silence, felt you slip beneath the veil. But death, it isn't absence, it's a breath behind the veil. This isn't loss, it's a crossing. This isn't death, it's dawning. You are the pulse in every silence, the ache that keeps my breathing on. So bury me in maroon light, where
So this is the Mojave MA-1000. Welcome back to the channel. I like to play with microphones. If you've already heard the song by now, that one was really, really hard to get through. Thank you for sticking around for that. Most of the sounds on there were pretty darn close to raw. Very little EQ. I'm able to push the top end around, so I did kind of brighten things because it felt right. The mount that this thing came on, which it's on this right now just because it looked better for thumbnail pictures that we were trying to take. The microphone comes with this huge shock mount that fits really well. You screw it down and it's freaking in there. So I gotta say, I was shocked when the box showed up. It is a massive, like, Pelican style case. Of course, you get the nice wood box signed by David Royer. Of course, I mean, if you know me at any point, you know that I think anything David Royer touches is awesome. So the MA-1000. This is David Royer's take on a 251. And I mean, this is no shade against Telefunken. This is a killer mic. However, it is $13,000. Although this is not a sponsored video, Mojave did send this for me to try out, and they don't get to see a video. No money is exchanging hands. They don't get any approval or anything. They don't see the video before it comes out. They're just watching it at the same time you're watching it, so we'll see if they like it. But all that said, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Do your own research. Every mic is not going to be good for every person. If you find qualities about this that you do like, there will be a link down in the description that does support the channel. If not, no big deal. This may not be right for you. Back to the video. Now, this microphone is not a cheap microphone. $35.99, but that is a savings of darn near $10,000. Is it going to be exact? No. Is it close enough? For my dollar, yes. If you are in the market for something like a 251 style circuit and you want to go complete legacy, and you're kind of in the market where you're spending 5 figures for a mic, there are those legendary pieces that were like owned by certain people. I had somebody, I saw somebody selling another legacy mic owned by somebody very, very famous, and the price was bonkers. I mean, if people are willing to pay for it, it's absolutely worth that. And do the mics sound good? Yeah, they absolutely sound good. But do you need those original circuits? I think we have shown at this point you can get darn close for a fraction of the price. And this is still an expensive piece. And if we know anything about Mojave, they don't slouch on quality just to make a cheap clone. This isn't an exact recreation of the 251. This is David Royer's take on what the 251 would be in a little bit of a more modern setting. And this thing was a joy to work on. Aesthetically, I love it. It kind of fits in with my space pretty well. Sound-wise, I've said this before on multiple videos. One of the marks of a really well-designed microphone is if you can push around the EQ and the circuit does not fall apart. This one, you can boost top end for days and it won't fall apart. It may get too bright, but it will not fall apart. The thing I didn't like this on was vocals who already have kind of this mid-rangey thing naturally to them. If they've got like an air, that's great, it works. If they've got a thick low end, that's great, it works. But if there is a weird mid-range resonance, and you have this on like some male singers in particular, it can kind of get like honky. You can EQ it out. It does kind of exaggerate that because what you have here is this very smooth, very extended top end, really, really thick bottom end, and you'll see that in some of the bass examples, and a mid-range that is separated. That's one of those, like, describing microphones is like just trying to talk about food to an alien. If somebody's not from planet Earth, it's going to be hard to describe what sushi is and why it's delicious. Separated on the mid-range, it almost feels like it can come out of the speaker and grab you, and you really feel that on guitars. And we tried this on Drum Room, where you can smash this thing for days and it sounds absolutely glorious. I put this right up against electric guitar cabs. If it is very, very loud, it can clip the internals, but there is a built-in pad here. And on the power supply here, you have variable polar patterns that you can kind of use to your advantage, especially when you're in front of a loud source. I love that with Mojave stuff. Everything's variable. So on guitars, I was kind of on the razor's edge of too much breakup, and I loved it. It was great. Bass, it's not afraid of low end. As long as you don't overblow the internals here, it's so silky all the way through. And that top end presence was surprising to capture on a bass guitar. We tried it on vocals, obviously.
In Light, where the echoes learn to sing, you became the spark eternal, and I'll meet you in the spring. You're not gone, you've just gone deeper in the soil, in the sky. Put my ashes in a cigar box, wrapped with golden thread. Take me out past Big Fork where the sun hangs cold and red. Sling my soul to heaven with ashes gray and fine.
I put it on acoustic guitars. Now, it goes without saying, there is no perfect microphone. Every video I make, I say there is no perfect microphone. Not even the $13,000 version of a 251 circuit. That is not a perfect microphone, and it will not work on every single voice. This will not work on every single voice, but there are those 90% of the time things. Most mics fall into that category. It more depends what you want to do with the palette afterwards. What I've found, where I would typically mix like dirt into something, like saturate something, I didn't want to do it here because the top end was so clean and detailed. I wanted to hear it. On the mix, I have like no saturation anywhere going on. It's a really interesting microphone to work with because it makes me appreciate a cleaner approach to the mix, and that's what's going to make it stand out. All I did was just compressed it. All in all, a microphone like this is a luxury item for sure. The 251 style is something that I have wanted for a long time, and it really fills a gap. Do you need all of these choices? It depends on what you're doing, I think. Like if I'm a commercial space and I record so many different things, so it's really helpful for me to have different almost paintbrushes, if you will, or I guess colors. I don't know what to describe a microphone as. Having different microphones. Why use an analogy when you don't need one? Because I never really know what a vocalist is going to sound like with a microphone in front of them. You can kind of judge it, but once you hear it in context, then you know. A decision like this should not be made lightly. This kind of investment, it is a fantastic microphone. But if you have gaps in like your monitoring or in your room sound, like you get your room right, get your monitoring right so you can hear what's happening here. This is an investment. This is one of those like legacy pieces without being the legacy piece. This is high end without being holy moly end. If Mojave does anything, they build strong here. This thing is a tank. It feels good. And of course, every time I want to see what the innards look like. Hand soldered, just solid craftsmanship and circuit design. I mean, the thing David Royer made himself known for was taking these insane circuits, using affordable parts to bring overhead costs down and make circuits like this approachable to everybody. So let me know down in the comments below if a 251 is something that you're even interested in. I've been intrigued with it ever since I've seen it used on pop records, country records, soul records, metal records. One of my favorite metal vocalists used this circuit on one of my favorite records. So that's why I wanted to go a little heavy with it and just kind of show that like top end sheen presence. And it did not disappoint. If you hung around for the whole thing, hit like. If you want to go check out the song, it'll be live. Go follow me, Jeremy Mang, on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music. It's all over the place. If you want to check out another mic that Mojave has done, go check out this video down there. I'm sure you'll love it.